Hey, everybody, it's Scott Steen with winnersandwhiners.com coming to you with the Thursday, almost Friday edition of Today in Sports Betting. Doing a little NBA style here, Scott, as we come down the home stretch. We got just 4 days left of regular season NBA action and then 3.5 months of playoffs. So I'm looking forward to that. No, it's not that long, but it's close.
It feels that long.
It goes into June. It goes into June, buddy. I know we looked that up to see when it would overlap with baseball, and yeah, so that's going to be a long time. But for now, we got to finish up the regular season, and of course, we've got a couple of games on the TV, Scott. Unlike Friday night, when it appears we just have one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's Friday night. You know, you can't. They probably have another 30 for 30 to trot out. So. But be that as it may, we're going to take a look first at the Philadelphia 76ers and the Miami Marlins. Excuse me, not the Miami Marlins, Scott. That'd be a very different game. How about the Miami Heat?
They're pretty good.
They are pretty good. The Heat starting to play some of that defensive basketball that you remember them doing last year, about this time. Well, not this time of year, but this point in the season. Right now the Sixers are a 1.5 point favorite, and we got no total. You got a total on that anywhere?
I don't see it.
I don't see a total on that. So Scott, of course, we have to check, as we always do. The first thing is what?
The injury report.
What's Joel Embiid doing? I bet he's questionable.
I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what Butler's doing. I don't know what half the players are doing. Because Philly's a team that we talked about before, basically can walk into the 1 seed. I know the Nets won yesterday, and the 76ers did lose to Indiana, so I guess the gap is closer, but not really. Philly's still going to cruise to the 1 seed. The only question is how much do they care? And I'm going to assume not much. What do you think? Embiid plays like 25 minutes?
Yeah, if that much, I would guess.
They've been limiting his minutes for 2+ weeks when he even plays, and they
right.
give days off every now and then. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I
like Miami if I had to pick a spot here. Now I know Butler has a bit of an eye issue, so I'm not sure if he's going to play, but I'll assume he will because he is a gamer. But can I really go against Miami right now against a team that might be disinterested? I don't think I can go against Miami at home.
Yeah, the Sixers are in kind of a weird spot there, Scott. They've got a 1.5 lead in the Eastern Conference. 3 games left. You know, none of these teams have a sense of urgency, Scott. They just don't seem to be playing with much of a sense of urgency at all. But I do like the way this Miami team has played. And the weird thing is, I kind of joked about it, but they really haven't been playing. They've really been getting it done on the offensive side of the ball, Scott. They have been an over machine. They've hit the over in 10 straight. That's fairly impressive. And they've also won and covered the number in 6 of their last 7. And that's what I like about this Miami team. We've talked about them before. They win, they cover. They do a fine job as an underdog as well. They haven't been a dog in a while, but I'm with you. I like them in this spot. There's Embiid, of course, is questionable for the game. He has an illness. So we could be a little more specific. That'd be appreciated. And, of course, like you said, Jimmy Butler left the last game with an eye injury. We'll see how that goes. And that could be a huge deal, Scott. So before I want to commit too much to this, I want to see if Butler's playing or not.
Definitely true, but it is worth mentioning. I know yesterday I said I liked Portland. I believe the line was around 3.5 or 4. Ended up closing at about 1.5. My main logic was I thought Utah might bench some players because they have Oklahoma City and Sacramento up after that, so I thought they maybe wouldn't care. They did. They lost anyway. You know, Philly plays the last 2 games of the regular season.
I know it's not good. Who do they play?
Orlando. Twice.
That's a nice way to finish it up.
Orlando twice. So do they need to win this game? Probably not. Are they going to rest Embiid? Maybe. I actually think Embiid's going to play, but I think he'll play with around a 25-minute cap.
Yeah, and this is a Miami team. I think they want to stay. They're on the 5 line right now. They're a half a game back of the Hawks.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if it really makes any sense to go with the tip your hand philosophy here. But if these teams might play each other in the playoffs, Does Philly really want to showcase anything that they have?
Well, I mean, they've already played them, 3 times this year already?
I'm kind of just saying
3
based
times.
on recent form, of course. If you see them right before the playoffs, it's something fresh.
Well, I think Miami's got bigger worries, and I think that's staying off the 6 line where they don't meet the Bucks in the first round.
I think Miami's more motivated. I'm just asking for Philly. That's another incentive to potentially not play everybody in this game.
Yeah, that's true. That's certainly true. And I think Embiid's health is paramount in this. And
Well, I'm just saying, going through the last 4 games, he played against Houston, 25 minutes. Played against New Orleans, 33. Played against Detroit, 23. Didn't play the last game. So I think a 25-minute cap sounds pretty accurate.
yeah, I was going to say 30 tops.
Yeah.
The absolute outside. So we don't have a total on that. What's the total end up in this one, Scott? Where do they stand?
It depends a lot on the injury report. I can't even guess. But I'll tell you what, I kind of have to like the over with Miami being involved.
You do, especially if Butler's out. If Butler's out, that's a big chunk of the defense there. So, and like you said, it's hard to fade a team that's hit the under in their last 10 games.
I mean, the over in the last 10.
I mean, the over. Sorry, yeah, absolutely.
Well, you're telling me Miami, who should be more motivated, as cliche, whatever. We're not going to really read into that much, but Bower's questionable. I think he'll play. I don't know how bad the eye injury was, but Embiid has kind of been going through the motions for the last couple of games. Plus, you're getting plus money with Miami.
Yeah.
At home. That's too good for me to pass up on.
I think that's solid. All right. And late game, Scott, I don't know who the Lakers are playing. No, I'm kidding. It's actually Scott, could be a pretty entertaining game there from the West Coast as Portland and Phoenix go at it. So, yeah, that could be an interesting game. It really could.
Now, we don't know, of course, about resting situations for Portland. I'm assuming they won't rest anybody because they're still trying to stay ahead of the 7. But, of course, they did play yesterday against Utah, so you do have to wonder if fatigue will play a factor. I see Portland getting 5.5. I don't know if you see a better line there.
That's the best that I have.
For the 5.5 that I'm seeing, I made the call about 2 weeks ago. Watching Portland, I thought they were about to go on a run, and they've played arguably the best basketball in the league since. You look at this team's efficiency numbers over the last 2 weeks. Number 1 in offense, and you remember earlier in the year when they were a bottom 3 defensive team all time, 11th in defensive efficiency over the last 2 weeks. So number 1 and number 11, this team kind of figured it out. And Phoenix, I've talked about why I think this team has issues long term, and I still don't think they have a really reliable third option. I don't think Aiden's going to have much of an answer for Nurkic and for Kanter. And I think that Lillard and McCollum should do enough offensively to at least match or exceed Chris Paul and Booker together. I think 5.5 is way too many points.
Yeah, I agree. You've got a team that's playing really good basketball right now against a team, like you said, another team that's just kind of going through the motions. So I'm with you. This is a much bigger game, I feel like, for Portland than it is for the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix pretty much locked into that 2 hole. They're not going anywhere.
Hypothetically, the Clippers could catch them, but we'll see. It's just a matter of Portland has been playing great basketball. And since we talked about the most important seed differentials, the 6 and the 7, compared to the 2 and the 3, I think we agree Portland should be, I'd say, pretty jacked up. I don't think they're going to bench anybody for this game.
No, I agree. Lakers are still breathing down their necks there as the Mavs and Blazers are tied, and the Lakers are 1 game behind them to get out of that play-in spot. So it's going to be an interesting battle there between the last 3 teams, or the 5, 6, 7 teams right now in the West, and see how that all shakes out. So
I'm trying to see who Phoenix plays after Portland because, of course, the Clippers do have a shot to maybe catch them. They play San Antonio twice.
Well, and theoretically, they also have a chance to catch Utah. They're just a game and a half behind Utah. They're 2 games ahead.
Yeah, but we already talked about Utah playing Sacramento and Oklahoma City, so I kind of threw that out the window.
Well,
stranger things have happened, but all I'm saying is San Antonio, they had the great offensive performance against the Bucks. That's the reason why I like the over against the Nets tonight. Last night. It's because they don't guard anybody. And I think Phoenix should win at least one of those.
You said San Antonio or Sacramento? You said Sacramento.
Sorry, San Antonio. If I said Sacramento. San Antonio against the Nets yesterday. I like the over because they don't guard anybody. And I think Phoenix should win at least one of those 2 games, maybe both, because the Spurs, what are the Spurs playing for? The Pelicans lost again. They basically clinched the 10 seed in the West. What do the Spurs have to play for?
Yeah, not much.
So I think Phoenix should be able to end up winning the division. So we'll keep that in mind. But I really like this Portland team. This team is starting to play really, really well, and I think they're dangerous come playoff time.
Yeah, I'll take Portland in points. That'll work out just fine. I'll take the 5.5. And
what do you think it closes at? I'm going to say like 3 or 2.5.
I don't know that a bunch of Phoenix money comes in there.
The only people betting Phoenix would just go solely based on the rest, because based on current form, Portland's a better team right now.
Yeah, that's not. I don't think that's how the betting public's going to see it. It might drop to 4.
I mean, I said around 3, 2.5. Maybe that's a bit excessive, but FanDuel lines have been known to get absolutely slammed.
Yeah, they're nuts. They're nuts. Yeah,
I'll say 3.5 tentatively.
It's possible it opens at legit books at around 4, 4.5.
That sounds about right.
So, all right. Anything else? I know this is a card that neither one of us liked a ton. Anything else that gets your attention before we get out of here?
I wish I had something to say besides maybe the Knicks minus 4.5. I know the Knicks finally clinched a playoff spot. They had the heartbreaking loss against the Lakers in overtime. San Antonio just played against the Nets. I just roasted this team for not guarding anybody. I think the Knicks win this game going away. It's a back-to-back. It was a high-scoring game, so the Spurs might have to deal with some fatigue. But at the end of the day, I just think the Spurs team is not very good, and I think the Knicks are a pretty good basketball team.
Yeah, agreed. All right, very good. As always, if you're looking for more information on these games or any others, make sure you stop by and check out winnersandwhiners.com. Deep dives into every game every single day, full predictions and previews, always free, winnersandwhiners.com. And we appreciate you guys watching today. Of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. For myself, for Scott Reichel, for all of us over here at Winners and Whiners, hope you guys have a very successful day. Hope every one of those tickets in your pocket turns into cash money when you head back to the window. All right. You guys have a great day. And stay tuned. See us around the corner when we do the baseball version of Today in Sports Betting. Take care, everybody.